It's Ladybird! Ladybird, Ladybird! It's Ladybird 2012. Yes, it all started off with the death of Reverend Moon on the TV today. And I said I'd get sectioned if I started talking like that, like the Reverend Moon's talks, you know. And Steve said, yes, like David Icke. So I said, who's David Icke? He said, I can't believe you've never heard of David Icke. I thought you'd be a follower of his. And he brought up an interview on YouTube with David Icke and Terry Wogan. Now, as I said to Stephen, what's everybody laughing at? Why is everybody laughing at him? What he was saying was perfectly... You know, Terry Wogan is one of my favourite television presenters. But I can't understand what he was saying. He said, you know, when are these floods and earthquakes going to hit the earth? Well, is he blind and deaf? Every time you turn the telly on, there's some sort of natural disaster going on in some part of the world. You know, God told me when I was in hospital last year that there was going to be a flood somewhere in England in 2012. Well, I just laughed, you know, because there's always a flood somewhere in England every time it hits rainy season in August, and sometimes during the winter months as well. You know, must be about 3 or 4 big floods a year in England. This week there's been the hurricane that has hit America, causing floods. There's been a big forest fire in Spain. I can't remember whether it was last year or the year before. All the aeroplanes were grounded because there'd been a big volcanic eruption that was spewing clouds of volcanic ash into the sky that was grounding the aeroplanes, getting in their engines. Just where has Terry Wogan been? Does he not watch the news? You know, there's a natural disaster of some sort, earthquakes, tsunamis. Every time you turn on the news, there's some sort of natural disaster hanging on somewhere in the world. And David Icke is quite right. You know, there's all these natural disasters going on Earth. There's wars, you know, the civil war in Syria, the war in Afghanistan. There's riots, you know, the London riots. There's been riots in Egypt and Greece. And all anybody wants to talk about is the characters in their favourite soap opera. You know, he's quite right about that. And telepathic aliens, you know, as you know, those who watch me, I get messages from telepathic aliens. I don't pass them on. I don't tell anybody what the telepathic aliens are saying, but I do get messages from telepathic aliens. I think Jeremy was a demon in disguise. Jeremy, but you know, there's reptilian aliens. I get messages from reptilian aliens. You know, what is so funny about it? The psychiatrist keeps saying it's rare, but it's not that rare. If you search YouTube videos, there's quite a few people who get some sort of message from telepathic aliens. It's not that rare. So what's so funny about David Icke? I mean, you know, saying you don't believe in telepathic aliens and you don't believe in God and Jesus and you don't believe all the stuff he's saying and you believe he has some sort of mental illness, like these psychiatrists think I have a mental illness. Still, what is so funny about it? You know, he said on Terry Wogan, everybody keeps laughing at him now when he walks down the street. He's the butt of all the comedians' jokes. You know, what is so funny about David Icke? I don't get it. Anyway, bye YouTubers.